Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to learn how to optimize the error, which means we need to maximize or minimize the error using Algebra 2 skills. We have another way that's faster than using Algebra 2 skills, that is calculus. The monthly profit in dollars realized from renting out the departments is given by P of S equals negative 10s squared plus 1760s minus $50,000. Alright, question. How many units must be rented out to maximize the profits? Alright, so you look at the quadratic function right here. This is the standard form, right? A equals negative 10, right? So you know that A equals negative 10 less than 0. So the graph should open downwards, right? And then the maximum should be right here, right? The maximum actually the y coordinate of the vertex, right? So the first thing you need to do is to find the axis of symmetry, right? So the axis of symmetry is given by the formula negative b over 2a, right? So it's going to be negative b equals 1760 over 2 times a equals negative 10. So I substitute over here. So it turns out to be 1760 divided by 20, right? Because you have two negative sides right here, it turns out to be positive, right? So it's going to be 88, right? Now this is not the answer. You need to find the y value, right? So you need to substitute s equals 88 into the function right here. So I have p of 88. It's going to be negative 10 times 88 squared plus 1760 times 88 minus 50,000, right? And then it turns out to be $27,440. Now let's move on to the example number 10. Alright, so I don't know the numbers right here. I just call this M and N, right? Two numbers. Now, the sum of two numbers is 8. So I have M plus N equals 8, right? Now find their maximum products. So the product should be equal to M times N, right? So I need to relate this guy and this guy, right? So from the first equation right here, I need to solve for m in terms of n, right? So m equals 8 minus n, right? And then I substitute a minus n for m into the second equation right here. So it turns out to be p equals 8 minus n times n, right? So it's going to be 8n minus n squared after you distribute this one, right? So you just rewrite this one as a standard form. So it's going to be p equals negative n squared plus 8n, right? And you see that actually the coefficient a of the standard form right here equals negative 1, right? So because a equals negative 1 less than 0, right? So the quadratic function has the maximum value, right? It's going to be like this, right? So the maximum value is going to be somewhere right here, right? They ask you to find their maximum product, right? So you need to find the x-coordinate of the vertex, right? So the x-coordinate actually the axis of symmetry. So the formula is going to be s equals negative b over 2a, right? Now a equals negative 1, b equals 8, right? And c equals 0, right? So it's going to be negative 8 over 2 times negative 1, right? So 2 negative side right here turns out to be positive. So 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4, right? Now, in this situation, s which means n, right? So I just replace s with n. Alright, so n equals 4, substitute back over here. So I have p equals negative 4 squared plus 8 times 4, right? So it's going to be negative 16 plus 32. And then it's going to be 16. So the maximum product is 16. Now, if the question asks you to find two numbers and then you substitute back over here, n equals 4, and then the product is 16, you take 16, you divide by 4 to get m. Right, so m equal to 4. Now, the following examples are for Algebra 2. A farmer is constructing a pig pen and is using his barn wall as one of size of the pen. If he has 32 meters of fencing and wants to use it all, write the quadratic function that models the area of the pig pen and use it to determine the maximum area of the pen. Alright, so basically he has 32 meters of fencing. So if you see this information, this is actually perimeter of this rectangle. So I have perimeter is going to be equal to W's plus W's plus L. This one doesn't count, right? This line doesn't count because it says right here. So it's going to be 2W plus L, right? And then the perimeter is for 32. So I have 2W plus L equals 32, right? I leave it over there. Now, next one, because the question asks you to write a quadratic function that models the area of the pig pen and uses to determine the maximum error, right? So, the area of this guy is going to be length times width, right? Length times width. Now, from the first equation right here, I can solve for L, right? So L equals 32 minus 2W, right? And then I substitute 32 minus 2W for L into the second equation right here. So I have 32 minus 2W altogether times W, right? And then I need to distribute this guy. So it turns out to be 32W minus 2W squared. Or I can rewrite this one as negative 2W squared plus 32W, right? Now, to maximize the area of the pen, which means we need to find the y values of the vertex, right? So I know that this is quadratic function, right? Where a equals negative 2, b equals 32, and c equals 0, right? And then, because a equals negative 2 less than 0, so the quadratic function opens downward, right? And then the vertex right here, right? And then the y value of the vertex is the maximum value, right? So I need to find the axial symmetry first because the axial symmetry is the x-coordinate of the vertex, right? So the axial symmetry is given by the formula s equals negative b over 2a, right? So negative b equals 32, so I put 32 over here over 2 times a equals negative 2, right? So I need to simplify this one. 2 negative side right here turns out to be positive. So 32 divided by 4 is going to be 8, right? So x, which means w in this situation because the variable is w, right? So w equals 8. Now I need to substitute 8 for w into this quadratic function right here, right? So I need to find the error. right? So the error is going to be negative 2 times 8 square plus 32 times 8. So it's going to be 128 meter square. And this is the final answer. Now let's move on to the next example. Example number 12. You have 600 meters of fencing and a large field. You want to make a rectangular enclosure split into two equal lots. What dimensions would yield an enclosure with the largest error? Alright, so again, this is similar to the previous example, right? So we have 600 meters of fencing. It means that perimeter, right? So perimeter equals 600, right? So the side length right here, L, W, 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 and L, right? So it turns out to be 2L plus 3W equals 600. Now, the question, what dimensions would yield an enclosure with the largest error? So the error of this rectangle equals length times width, right? Now from the first equation right here, I need to solve for L. So L equals 600 subtract 3W divided by 2. And then I substitute this guy for L into the second equation right here. So I'm going to end up with 600 minus 3W over 2 times W, right? And then I'm going to simplify this one, right? So 600 divided by 2 is going to be 300. And then 3 divided by 2 is going to be negative 3 over 2W all together times W, right? And then A equals, I just distribute this one, right? So W times this one is going to be negative 3 over 2W squared. And W times this one is going to be plus 300, right? W. Now I need to maximize this error, right? So again, coefficient A right here is negative 3 half, which is less than 0, right? So the graph opens downward, right? So the maximum is going to be right here is the y coordinate of the vertex. So first you need to find the axis of symmetry, right? So axis of symmetry equals negative b over 2a, right? In this situation, the variable is w, so I use w. Alright, so it's going to be negative b equals 300 over 2 times a, right? So 2 times negative 3 over 2, right? So 2 and 2 cancel out. Negatives and negative side cancel out. So 300 divided by 3 is going to be 100. So W equals 100. Now you substitute 100 for W into the equation right here to find the length, right? So the length equals 600 minus 3 times 100 divided by 2. So it can be 300 divided by 2. It's going to be 150, right? So the length is 150. And the width is 100, right? Example number 13. A small theater has a seating capacity of 2,000. When the ticket price is $20, attendance is 1,500. For each $1 decrease in price, attendance increase by 100. What ticket price will yield a maximum revenue? What is the maximum revenue? Right now, step number 1. Alright, so let S be the ticket price and Y be the number of people. So you have the first order pair. It's going to be 20, 1,500, 100, and I call this is S1, Y1, right? Now next one, for each $1 decrease in price, attendance increase by 100, right? So let M be the slope. So M equals price over run, right? And it's gonna be delta Y over delta S. And then you see that delta Y is increased by 100. So this is plus 100. Increase tells us that this is the plus side. Decrease tells us this is the negative side. So over decrease, which means negative 1, right? So the slope is negative 100, right? Now we're going to use point slope form formula to write the linear function, right? So I have y minus y1 equals m times s minus s1, right? So I substitute, so y minus 1500 equals negative 100 times s minus 20, right? And then I need to convert this one into slope-intercept form, right? So I need to add 1500 both sides and distribute this one. So y equals negative 100 s plus 2000 plus 1500, right? And then this guy turns out to be y equals negative 100 s plus 3500. So the revenue is going to be attendance per number of tickets sold times price per ticket. Alright, so we just substitute the attendance per number of tickets sold is this guy right here. Alright, so revenues is y times the price per ticket, which is the S value, right? S value. And then I substitute this guy right here for y. So it turns out to be negative 100 S plus 3500 altogether multiplied by S. And then I distribute S, so revenue equals negative 100 s squared plus 3500 s. And then I have A equals negative 100, right? B equals 3500, right? And C equals 0, right? And then because A equals negative 100 less than 0, the graph opens downward. And then the maximum value is going to be right here, is the y value of the vertex, right? And then I know the s value of the vertex should be negative b over 2a, because this is the standard form, right? So negative b, which means negative 3500 over 2 times a is a equal negative 100. Alright, so it turns out to be 17.5, right? Price is $17.5 per ticket. And then they ask you what is the maximum revenue. So basically you just substitute 17.5 for s into this function right here. So you have revenue equals negative 100 times 17.5 square plus 3500 times 17.5, right? And it turns out to be $30,625. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember that if you failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine.